In 2006, at the age of 17, Pato scored in the FIFA Club World Cup as Internacional went on to win that competition. Then in 2008, he made his debut for the Brazil national team and scored within mere seconds. Both of those feats were record-breaking, and both of those records were previously held by Pelé, so you can connect the dots. Pato, in the eyes of Brazilian fans and fans worldwide, was now the hottest young prospect in the world. So in 2008, AC Milan snatched him up for 24 million euros. This, by the way, is pre-Mbappe money, so back then paying that sum of money for a teenager was an insane amount of money. Pato had some notable moments at Milan. We all remember Pato scoring inside 24 seconds against Barcelona. We also remember him scoring twice against Real Madrid. But currently, in 2021, he's playing for Orlando City in the Major League Soccer, a club that he only signed for, by the way, after being unemployed for nearly 6 months. That is quite a drastic fall and certainly not what was expected from him. So, what happened to Alexandre Pato?
As Pato look to come forward, and it's looking very good already. Is Alexandre Pato, and it's 1-0.
In his first 18 months at AC Milan, Pato scored 27 goals in 62 games. And then came the summer transfer window of 2009. Kaká left and signed for Real Madrid. Paolo Maldini retired. And that wasn't even the worst of it. Pato was surrounded by Gattuso, Pirlo, Seedorf, Ronaldinho and Borrello. On paper, all of these footballers are very good, maybe except for Borrello. But the problem with these players is that they were all very old. So in order to get his goals, Pato had to do a lot of running, and whenever that happens, injuries follow. In the 2009-10 season, he was restricted to just 23 games. He did, however, score 12 goals in the league, but missing 15 games due to niggling injury problems, most of which being muscular, they're all a sign that you are overexerting yourself. The following season, AC Milan tried to fix it. The 2010-11 season saw AC Milan bring in Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Robinho. But this didn't work because the damage had already been done, so the season went more or less as the same as the previous one. Pato scored 14 goals in 25 games, which is a very good goals to game ratio, but his injury record was now becoming a serious problem. Now even though Pato was technically decent, his biggest trait was his pace, and when you have these numerous muscular problems, your pace is the first thing that goes. This wasn't just a problem for AC Milan. Pato himself has later stated that every time he would feel something minor, he in his head was like, oh no, here we go again. These muscular injuries had completely mentally broken down Alexandre Pato. Over the next 2 seasons, he featured just 15 times in the league. He was physically and mentally just done. So AC Milan cut him loose.
Pato look to come forward, and it's looking very good already. Is Alexandre Pato, and it's 1-0.
Quanjian signed Pato for 15 million euros. In Brazil, that's a lot of money, which meant that Pato was now going to be under some serious amount of pressure from the fans. And this was the last thing that Pato really needed. Pato lasted only 1 season there and he received no love from the fans, and you can understand where those fans were coming from. Pato dropped in shocking performances one after another. He missed sitters after sitters, and to round it all off, in a cup game he decided to do a panenka and it did not work. Pato's coach at Corinthians, Tite, he had his back. He told fans to ease off him because Pato was lacking confidence, and this constant criticism is not going to help him. He was right as well, but all this coercion meant that this move was never going to work. In 2014, Pato joined Sao Paulo on loan. Now being a want-away striker, coming on loan, but there is next to no pressure on you, and Pato thrived in these surroundings. He scored 38 times in his 2 seasons at Sao Paulo. He impressed so much that it was now time for him to head back to Europe.
Pato look to come forward and it's looking very good already. Is Alexandre Pato and it's 1-0.
Pato joined Chelsea on a 6-month loan, so it meant if things went well for Pato here, this could be start of something new. It was not. Pato signed up to play in the most physically demanding league for a side that was massively underperforming. Yeah, that broke Pato once again. He played only twice for Chelsea. He did however score a goal from the penalty spot, but that wasn't it. His next stop was Villarreal, who signed him in the summer of 2016 for €3 million. This move was solely based on name values and some notable moments that Pato had provided during his time at AC Milan against Spanish sides. Pato was at Villarreal for only 6 months. He got plenty of game times because Roberto Soldado, Villarreal's main striker, was out injured. Pato in his 6 months there scored only 6 goals. He here realized that he is no longer made for European football.
As Pato look to come forward and it's looking very good already. Is Alexandre Pato and it's 1-0.
Pato was a big name. Pato was Brazilian. Both of those features are enough for a Chinese side to splash their cash for you. Tianjin Quanjian offered Pato €18 million, and like many players back then, Pato jumped on that opportunity. He was now playing in a league that is not as taxing as that of Europe. He was playing under fans who weren't as demanding as that of Corinthians. Pato finally started delivering. He scored 36 goals in 60 games there. But like many Chinese clubs, when Tianjin Quanjian turned out to be a whole lot shady, Pato jumped ship before it sank.
Pato look to come forward and it's looking very good already. Is Alexandre Pato and it's 1-0.
Pato went back to Sao Paulo, a club whose fans really loved him. Pato was now a very rich man, and he also knew that there is no way he's going to get a call from Europe again. He probably believed that this move was going to be the last move of his professional career. That's not what it turned out to be. After 15 months at Sao Paulo, he was let go because he was massively underperforming. He was now left out in the abyss. There weren't many attractive offers for him. As a result of that, Pato was clubless for 6 months. That run came to an end in March when Orlando City in Major League Soccer gave Pato an opportunity to come and try something new. His debut there did not go as planned. He got injured and is yet to return and play for them.
Pato look to come forward and it's looking very good already. Is Alexandre Pato and it's 1-0.
Pato was a great talent and he had numbers to back it up, but AC Milan being over-reliant on him broke him physically and he never really recovered from that. So yeah, this was a video on what happened to Alexandre Pato. Like if you enjoy, subscribe, have a good day, and I will see you soon.